Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 10. Alright, what is the title of this episode? Hold on, let me check the title. I think it's No Mind Behind or something. Don't. Sorry guys, I just forgot the title of this episode. Then we're on season 7, episode 10. We're at finally at the mid-season finale. The other way, the other way, the other way. Here we go. Mind the gap, mind the gap, mind the gap. Okay. Season 7, episode 10, Mind the Gap. Alright, so we're just going to get on into it. The first couple I want to talk is Jenny and Samit. Now, we haven't seen them for a couple weeks. But in this episode, Jenny and Samit they finally got the little cafe up and running. They're about to have their grand opening ceremony where they have where it's like a blessing where the Indian culture comes in and does the something with water and something with cow urine, which is kind of disgusting and everything. But before they get into that, let's talk about how disgusting that they are, really. So as they're preparing, they got their cafe running. They got all the equipment in there that they need. They're still in that really small space and stuff. They did get a sign that says Family Cafe. And everything. Now, on the surface, it looks good, but then as they were preparing for this little grand opening ceremony, we seen Sumit's father, as they're preparing, cooking the food, Sumit's father, getting water from the bathroom next to the toilet. And Sumit notices that, and he goes and tells his father, he's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? You can't get water here. This is unfiltered. And the father and the mother said, well, this is the only water we got. And, they told us that we could use it. They cleaned the utensils in it and everything. And Sumit was like, this can't be right and everything. But then they blamed it on Sumit for not, figuring that out right away and everything. So now Submit's mom is yelling at him saying, shut your mouth, you insulted us too much and everything. Jenny comes in and it's just see, this is why people in India get sick all the time and everything. So they basically had to just restart the whole thing. They had to throw all the food out. They had to come back and work overnight and get actually big gallons and jugs of water, purified water, to redo everything. Sumit said that they were cranky and tired, but they managed to get through it. So after they redo everything and get everything purified and everything, now they have their little grand opening ceremony, and it went well. But the thing is that they gave out, it was basically a free day. Sumit and his family were working. It's funny, Jenny was just standing there really doing nothing, just looking really tired. But it went well. But the only problem is that Jenny was like, even though this went well, we didn't make no money. Y'all were giving out y'all weren't giving out just small samples. Y'all were giving out plates. And they were giving out big plates of food and free food to people and everything. I'm like, we're just thinking, this is not a shelter or a fundraiser where you just get free food and stuff and everything. And so Jenny was irritated at the fact that they didn't make any money from that. And I agree with her. I'm like, you know what? Samples are just here, you want to try a piece of this, try this little cheese block and everything and all that. But no, they were giving out plates of food we were at a church event or something. So yeah, Jenny was mad about that. But they ended up doing their little blessing ceremony and with the water and the cow urine and all that nasty stuff and everything. But I'm at least glad that they took care of the water issue, because that was really disgusting. Now again, if it's a culture thing, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend no culture or nothing, but Yeah, that was disgusting. So anyway, moving on. That was Jenny and Smith. Next couple I want to talk is Greta and Matthew. So Greta and Matthew are, we've seen Greta with Matthew's mom, Matthew's grandmother, and Matthew's brother's fiance out to tea. In England they call tea where they drink some tea and have some sweets and stuff and everything. And Greta's mom was not Greta's Matthew's mom was saying that was really accepting Greta into the household, and she's welcome anytime whether she lives there or not and everything. And it's this is like the first time like in a long time where we see a foreign family be this accepting of somebody and everything, because usually on the other way, like families just do not the families, when you have to live with families, they just do not like the Americans and the situations. But in this case, I really respect Matthew's family taking Greta under her wing and like being supportive with her and everything, which is amazing. So they talked about their Christmas traditions and what they do for Christmas and stuff. And Greta opened up the little heartfelt story. She's saying that like I think she did have a parent that I think her mother had passed before, but before that like it would be her mom and her sister doing doing all the Christmas stuff before the mother passed, and then when she passed, then it was the father and the sister and everything. Well, one time when the father was dating somebody new, Greta was saying out Christmas ornaments and everything, just all excited just to celebrate Christmas and stuff. And I guess her father's girlfriend at the time like called called the ornaments like really ugly, and just was just really mean about it and everything. And so like she broke down and cried when she told that story. So she said she would hide the ornaments in the future from her just so she wouldn't make her upset, which is really sad. That is really sad, basically. So then they talked about having kids. Now Greta recently mentioned that she doesn't want to have kids, and her Matthew's mom that she's just been basically on the fence about it, leaning towards not having kids and stuff and everything. And the mom said that I think she would make a great mother, which I think she would. Like Greta just seems like that. Greta's a little odd, but she does seem like that person that would be a good mother. So later after that, we've seen her and Matthew go out to this little farm and everything, and basically have that discussion. And Greta says that she has anxiety about talking about it. She's mentioned it before, but not to this extreme that she doesn't really want to have kids and everything. And Matthew was really shocked and everything, because he said that we talked about having kids, we talked about even naming our kids, like what's the change and everything and all that. And Greta just feels like she's just not going to be like fully aware, like wouldn't be like, don't feel like she will give like her kids like 100%. And Matthew had said something really interesting. He was like, you know what? If you're not there a lot, I will be. If you're not 100% the mother, I will be 200% the father. Basically, like he really wants to have kids, and Greta even said that he deserves to have kids, basically, and everything. So I mean, they got something to figure out. I don't think they're together right now, to be honest with you. We've seen the mid-season previews where we see Greta, the mid-season for future episodes, like Greta crying that she's just not going to be able to give him all that he deserves and everything and stuff. So I don't know. I think she's going to end up really getting in her head about everything towards the end of the season, and it just won't work out. And that's unfortunate, because they are my favorite couple of the season. So I mean, that's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that was Matthew and Greta. Next couple I want to talk is Luke and Madeline. So we didn't see Madeline in this episode, but we've seen Luke talk to his friend Brian. and basically his friend Ryan told him straight up, like Luke was saying, like, we've been fighting a lot and everything. She kind of canceled the wedding, like, in and out. And this Brian dude was like, what do you see in her and everything? You have not really said anything positive about her, like, recently, and you're supposed to kind of get married, basically. Like, what are we doing here and everything? Luke is trying to really still, like, fight for this relationship and everything, and I don't think it's worth it. But I mean, we've seen in the mid-season previews where they do get married and stuff. So I would like to see how it turns around to Madeline changing her mind about it and stuff and everything. But Luke's friend Brian, he was he was telling Luke how it is, because Luke said that how him and Brian work, because they remember, I think on Love in Paradise we met Brian. Brian used to date somebody used to be married from someone from Colombia, and Brian and Madeline actually don't get along because they think that I think Brian thinks that she's the reason why him and his wife got divorced or something like that and everything. But Luke said that he wanted to do this because he wanted to live the life that he did, like marry somebody, live the entrepreneur life in Colombia and everything. It doesn't work like that, Luke. It does not work. I think you're with somebody who is not even a full adult yet. You met her when she was 18, you got together when she was 19, and now she's 20 and just acting really immature. She is just not mature for something like this. And you're fighting so hard for a girl that it's just not ready yet. And everything. Yes, she does a good job with her salon and everything, but still, she's just not ready for a marriage and everything, because every little thing's gonna set her off, basically. So I agree with this Brian guy. Like, he needs to really think about what he's doing. So yeah. But yeah, that was Luke and Madeline. And the last couple we want to talk is Patia and Dylan. And oh my God, Patia is something else. So we seen Patia and Dylan at a furniture shop. They want to get some new furniture for the house and everything. Now, Patia has a serious spending addiction, and it's really, really really concerning Dylan. Patia and Dylan just fight a lot about her spending habits, basically, and we found out in this episode that Patia is actually $20,000 in debt. And I think she low-key wants to have Dylan help pay for that, basically. And she is in debt because she has 5 credit cards maxed out. And when they were living in Thailand and that didn't work out, there was a lot of money spent there. And what's sad about it, she blamed now, Dylan said that he has helped her with rent a few times, and she was like, wait a minute, that's because you put me in that position and everything. She basically blamed Dylan for all her debt, basically, which was ridiculous. I'm like, it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault that he in debt. Like, what's wrong with you? It is your fault that you have, you have a serious spending problem, basically. So Dylan just expressed his concerns and called her basically delusional by saying that you're blaming me for every little thing and stuff. And it just turned into a whatever thing. And, and after 12 years, Patia thinks that, if he doesn't propose soon, that it's done. He ain't gonna propose. He did say that when we get together, she said that when we get married and everything, it's not gonna be me, it's gonna be us, basically. Yes, that's what you're supposed to say, and that's what is true, but you need to show him and act like that it's gonna be like that, because he has no faith right now that she is going to cut down on her spending habits. Now, she claims that she's not as bad as she used to be, but she still has tendencies. Because even at the furniture shop, she wants a really big thousands of dollars furniture for that house and everything, and it just doesn't. And it's just, how's she gonna afford that? So they got a lot to figure out as well. So yeah. But anyway, that was the end of the couples. We did not see Anthony and Manon in this episode, thank God. I enjoyed a week without having an episode without having Manon cry and complain, and we also didn't see Chloe and Johnny in this episode. Um, huh. It was a nice, I like The Other Way because it's a nice little break from the drama from Happily Ever After. Basically, after the tell-all, this cast is not as hostile. I mean, maybe when we get to the other way tell-all, we'll see some things, but this cast is not as hostile as previous casts. People are getting here. People are really getting sick of 90 Day Fiancé, and and I've said this countless of times. One, I watched the show because it's really interesting seeing like American foreign relationships and how they're adjusting to each other's countries and stuff and everything. But and I love all the spinoffs, but why is it that? But I just don't understand why TLC doesn't focus more on the love and than the drama. You can add in this like a tiny bit of drama, just a couple little disagreements just to make it look interesting. But then you got to spin off like Happily Ever After. Why you call it Happily Ever After when none of the couples are happy? Anybody notice on Happily Ever After that the most fights go down? Like it's the most dramatic show. The fights go down. It's just why call it Happily Ever After with the question mark if you're gonna bring in all the worst and vital and hostile cast members like of all time. It's not an all-star season. These people ain't all-stars and everything. We want all these people to get off the TV. Bring back some of the good couples, but I understand because all the good couples don't want to be on TV all the time because they know the producers are going to try to make it worse for their relationships and stuff and everything. I read a comment online saying that there was a girl that was about to go to Morocco and about to apply for 90 Day and got a call back, but then last minute backed out because she's like, you know what? I feel like if we were going 90 Day, our relationship would have been over. And that's a shame. Like production, y'all need to do better. Y'all seriously need to do better. Now, I do agree, like in a Luke and Madeline situation where they want to end the relationship because he had a stripper over and Madeline and them talking to Madeline to try to keep it going. I'm fine with that. That's what you're supposed to do and stuff and everything, like over the reasons like that. But like to really try to really sabotage a couple and their relationship, that is not cool. So the production team needs to do a better job. And if somebody knows any producers or directors of 90 Day Fiancé or TLC and Sharp Entertainment, please let me know because I would like to interview somebody from production to see what the real behind the scenes stuff of 90 Day Fiancé goes into and stuff and why they choose the people that they choose and stuff. So anybody who knows any of them, please let me know. But okay, rant over. Anyway, guys, that is all of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And please make sure you are subscribed because YouTube has been playing games and unsubscribing people. So just please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'll be back on like either Thursday or Friday or Saturday to do the next 2 episodes of Married at First Sight. We're almost done. We only got 2 more weeks left of Married at First Sight. So I'll cover that. I'll try to do a better job on the Married at First Sight recaps this week. So until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. And we just celebrated Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans who serve this country. God bless you guys, and thank you for all you do. Bye, y'all.